Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're exploring something really fundamental, love and kindness.
That's right, meta in the traditional sense.
Exactly. And our goal here isn't just to talk about being nice in a kind of passive way. We want to really unpack loving kindness as a structured practice, like a meditation technique you can actively use.
And that structure is so important
Yeah.
because, when you look at the source material we're drawing from, it really points to this deep, fundamental human desire
Which is,
for love and kindness. That's what everyone craves deep down. It's like the core driver.
okay, but then there's the big but, isn't there? If that's what we want most, why is there so much, well, inner conflict, so much anger or hurt?
That's the paradox the practice addresses. The sources suggest that often our suffering isn't just bad luck. It's actually a product of our own perspective, our learned reactions.
Also.
Well, when something difficult happens, maybe someone hurts us,
Yeah.
our immediate reaction is often defensiveness, right? We close off, we get angry. And the issue is we often don't know how to respond differently. We lack the skills.
Right, it feels automatic. So if we're aiming for like real inner peace, stability, maybe even courage, we can't just sit around wishing for it.
Definitely not. We need a plan, a kind of blueprint for actually cultivating those qualities.
So this is where the practice part comes in. It's active work.
Exactly. It's all about inner work. And you need motivation because, let's face it, reacting defensively is easy. It's habitual. The practice requires you to actually pause, to examine your feelings, your thoughts before you react.
Check in with yourself first.
Yes,
Yeah.
because if you don't, that's when the emotional flare-ups happen. Anger, resentment, craving, they just take over.
Okay, so the purpose here isn't just feeling calm for a few minutes. It's about building something more solid, like a stable foundation inside.
Precisely. A happiness that doesn't totally depend on what's happening outside. You do that by consciously working through the emotional baggage, the fear, the ingrained negativity.
And replacing it with goodwill.
Sustainable goodwill. It really is more like developing a skill than just meditating in a passive way.
Interesting. Is this connected to other concepts? I know there are related ideas out there.
It is. Metta is actually one of the four sublime states in Buddhist philosophy, the Brahma Viharas. But loving kindness is often highlighted because it's seen as, well, boundless, unlimited.
Unlimited. What does that mean in practice?
It means you can't really be selective. The ultimate goal isn't just to feel goodwill towards your friends and family. It's meant to expand outwards, eventually, to everyone, the whole universe, really.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a huge ambition. Which I guess is why a structured approach is needed. You can't just flip a switch and feel universal love.
Not at all. And the sources give us a very clear step-by-step method. It's actually a 7-step process.
7 steps. And you mentioned structure. Is it designed to be challenging?
Absolutely. It's specifically designed to stretch the heart, to push you beyond your comfortable boundaries. Because think about it. If you only practice feeling good towards people you already like, you never actually learn how to handle difficulty. You don't build resilience.
Makes sense. So where does this 7-step journey begin?
It starts in a place that surprises some people. Step 1, beginning with the self.
With yourself, not others.
Yes. And it's considered essential. Non-negotiable, really. You have to cultivate kindness and a sense of connection within yourself first.
Why is that so critical? Isn't the point to be kind to others?
It is, but if you don't have a stable, kind base within yourself, any kindness you show outwards can be, well, fragile, maybe conditional, or even draining. You need your own foundation first.
Okay. But how do you do that without it just becoming, selfish or self-absorbed?
That's a fair question. The focus isn't on ego boosting. It's about establishing genuine well-being as a starting point. The actual practice, the wish, is quite simple. Something like, may I be safe and comfortable. Or, may I be filled with happiness and the source of happiness.
So it's about building that inner resource, stabilizing your own mind.
Exactly. Creating the container, you could say, before you try pouring anything out.
All right, so container built. Step 1, check. What's next?
Then you move outwards. Step 2, extending to loved ones.
Okay, that seems more intuitive. Friends, family.
Yes, but there's a little twist here in the guidance. The sources suggest choosing someone you love, but perhaps where the relationship is a little complex, not necessarily your easiest, most straightforward relationship.
Really? Why make it slightly harder right away?
Because if you pick the person you adore most, where everything feels easy, again, you might not learn much. The slight complexity helps reveal things, like subtle expectations you might have, or unspoken judgments, maybe even tiny flickers of jealousy if they're successful. things we often don't notice in easy relationships.
Ah, so it's like a diagnostic tool even at this early stage. It shows you where your love might still have conditions or edges.
Precisely. You're gently probing your own subtle emotional blocks, even with people you care about deeply. And the wish remains the same. May they be filled with happiness and the source of happiness. You really sit with that feeling, notice any resistance before moving on.
Okay, so self first, then a slightly complex loved one. Where do we go from there?
To step 3, including neutral people.
Neutral people. Who counts as neutral?
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. These are the people you encounter daily but have no strong feelings about. The person at the checkout, someone you pass on the street, the delivery driver.
People you barely register, maybe?
Often, yes. Or people you see but feel
Yeah.
nothing towards. And this step is vital because it tackles that huge area of human indifference.
Indifference, right? We tend to focus on who we love and who annoys us.
Exactly. We leave this vast middle ground where our hearts can easily become closed off, judgmental, or just numb. This step actively works against that tendency towards selectivity. It starts making compassion less conditional.
Preventing the heart from just shutting down towards strangers. Okay, this structure is definitely pushing boundaries. Which brings us to what I imagine is the toughest part.
You guessed it. Step 4, engaging with difficult people.
Right. The person who really gets under your skin. How on earth do you practice loving kindness towards them? Doesn't that feel fake or like you're letting them off the hook?
That's the core challenge, isn't it? And it's crucial to understand. The practice isn't about pretending you like them. It's not about condoning their actions or suddenly becoming best friends.
Okay, so what is it about then?
It's purely internal training for you. The source material really emphasizes this. This step is where you get to see your own defensive reactions most clearly.
When someone pushes your buttons, you see exactly how you react, the anger, the shutting down.
Yes, your protective mechanisms go on full display. And here's where the sources offer a really radical perspective shift.
Okay.
They suggest that if you genuinely want to cultivate qualities like patience and tolerance, which are seen as very high virtues, then someone who makes you angry is actually a gift.
A gift?
Right.
Seriously, most of us would call them a pain.
I know, it sounds counterintuitive, but think about it. They are providing the friction necessary for training. If everyone was lovely and easy all the time, how would you ever develop real deep tolerance? Or patience?
You wouldn't have the chance to practice.
Exactly. That difficult person, the one who annoys you to no end, they are, in a sense, your teacher. An unwanted one, maybe, but they're giving you a live, practical workshop in mind training that you simply cannot get any other way.
That completely reframes conflict.
Yeah.
Instead of something to avoid at all costs, it becomes necessary training ground.
Wow, okay. So, assuming you manage to navigate that feeling goodwill towards someone difficult, understanding your own reactions, what happens next? Then the practice really starts to broaden out. Step 5 is universalizing the sentiment.
Universalizing.
Yeah, you consciously bring all the groups together in your mind. Yourself, the loved one, the neutral person, and the difficult person. And you extend the same wish of happiness equally to all of them.
Equally. No difference between the loved one and the difficult one in the wish.
That's the goal. To try and dissolve the distinctions in your feeling of goodwill. To cultivate a sense of, like, equity in your compassion, wishing them all genuine happiness and the source of happiness.
That's a significant mental hurdle. Okay, step 5. Are we near the end?
Almost. Step 6 is quite profound. It's called letting go, sometimes translated as relinquishing formations.
Letting go. After all that structured wishing, what are you letting go of?
You're letting go of the method itself. Up to this point, you've been actively thinking, directing the wishes, using the structure. Step 6 is about releasing all that intentional effort, dropping the words, the specific focuses.
And what's left?
The aim is to rest in the state that the practice has cultivated. A state of, ideally, pure, unconditional goodwill. An effortless, pervasive kindness that doesn't need the step-by-step prompting anymore.
So you move from doing metta to just being metta.
That's a great way to put it. When the practice becomes more ingrained, more automatic, that's when those deeper qualities like patience and tolerance really take root. The effort falls away, and you might realize this capacity for unconditional love was there all along, just covered up.
Amazing. And that leads to the final step.
Step 7, the universal vow. This is the culmination.
What does that entail?
You take that state of boundless goodwill, the one hopefully uncovered in Step 6, and you consciously expand it outwards to all sentient beings, everywhere, throughout the entire universe.
All beings, like every insect, every animal, every person.
Everything that lives, The sources equate this final step to making a profound, universal commitment, a vow for the peace and happiness of all life. It sets your intention to live from that place of boundless kindness.
That is quite a journey. From focusing on yourself to encompassing the entire universe. It really forces you to confront resistance head on, doesn't it? Especially with the difficult people step.
Absolutely. They're not an obstacle to be bypassed. They're integral to the training. The whole structure is about systematically working through the resistance points, not avoiding them.
So, for you listening, the big takeaway here seems to be that metta isn't just a nice idea, it's this continuous, active cultivation of goodwill.
And the sources provide a clear roadmap. This seven-step structure gives you a way to turn those frustrating internal conflicts, the anger, the indifference, the defensiveness, into real opportunities for growth. It hammers home the idea that happiness isn't just luck, it's an outcome of training your mind.
Training the mind through a specific sequence, that feels empowering. So, if we take that idea seriously, that challenging people are actually blessings because they offer practice,
The best practice,
yeah,
arguably.
right, then we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Who is the difficult person in your life right now? And if you see them not just as a source of stress, but as potentially your greatest teacher for developing tolerance and inner peace, how might you approach that gift differently today?